this printing of cash from the Fed has kind of turned this whole thing into a casino for a lot of these traders, because there's a difference between trading and investing. And I think a
Right,
lot of these young kids who don't really understand that they are purchasing a company, they're having a
right.
stake in a company, they're treating it as a casino and just looking at the numbers like, oh yeah, the stock's always going to go up because it's crazy, it's reckless.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, wet. Tell 'em run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 2 Feet In show, where we go all in on mindset, business, finance. And with me, I got Kenny. What's going on, Kenny? How's it going?
What's going on, man? Nothing much, man. Ready for this episode 3 to put that in the bag and talk about what's the latest and greatest in the world and kind of what's going on.
Yeah, we got we got some crazy stuff to talk about.
We got a
And
packed show.
I know before the show, we wanted to talk about how the stock market is going a little crazy with the
Yes.
trading. And
Yes.
just as a disclaimer, we're not financial advisors. This is not financial advice, so make sure to do your own research. I want to bring up this.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Okay. Yep. So
Yep.
this is GameStop. Huge trend right
GameStop.
now.
All right. So recently, I'll pull up this article right here in Business Insider.
Mm-hmm.
Headline: GameStop short sellers have lost $5 billion this year as Reddit's day trader army squeeze their bearish bets.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what that's saying is that there have been people that have been shorting the stock of GameStop, which means they're betting that the stock will drop. And
Okay.
basically looking at GameStop this whole year, it's with games now being able to be downloaded, and most people aren't going to be going to get physical copies of games. GameStop has been going on a downtrend
Right.
lately,
Right.
and
Makes sense.
people are betting on that it's going to go out of business eventually.
Yep.
But what's happened is, I guess, I don't know if you heard of this group called WallStreetBets, but
Right.
it's this group on Reddit, and basically it's a bunch of day traders. I think they day trade mostly on Robinhood because it's
Okay.
pretty easy and simple to day trade on that.
Super simple and easy. Yep.
Yep.
It is.
But they're reckless because most of the trades are used on options and on margin, basically betting huge sums of money and borrowing huge sums of money. So if they don't hit their target, then basically they're in the red $100,000 or more. And that's
Right.
happened.
Right.
But for GameStop, I guess all of these day traders on Reddit, they just started pumping up the stock, buying it, betting that it's going to go higher. And this is what happened. We can go back to the chart here.
Uh-huh.
Year. Okay, so all of 2020 to 2021, it's
$4.
been
Cheap.
like in the $4 range, $5 range. And then boom,
Damn.
$147. And not even that. After hours, there's still trading going on up to $243.
Got it.
Up
So
92%.
so it was a group. So it was a group inside of Reddit called, what's the name of the traders called? Day traders? Or what was the
Yeah,
actual?
it's most of the people are they day trade. It's in a group
Okay.
called WallStreetBets,
Wall Street.
and it's I guess they started to get more popular around 2020. I mean, it's been a group since I think 2015, and they've been trading on Robinhood for a while. And I think some have been taking advantage of Robinhood's loopholes. So here's another article that I found. Let's see. Okay. Business Insider article here again. And it says, headline, "The jig is up. Robinhood says it's closed the infinite leverage loophole that allowed users to build positions worth millions." Now, this isn't new news, but this is just to put in perspective. Robinhood, you know how this past year or so, it's had problems with its. Have you use Robinhood, right?
Yeah, so I've used Robinhood. I mean, it's just the craziness of how easy it is to trade nowadays, where you can have these young kids who can download the app, put in their information, start trading, and we're starting to see the market, become manipulated with groups like this online. It's crazy.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard, I guess there is this loophole where basically here's one of the quotes here. One user said they turned a $3,000 deposit into a 1.7 million position by exploiting the bug, which is a loophole. Well, for this example, they initially deposited $3,000, and then probably trading in a margin account, they were able to increase the amount of money they were able to invest, and that's how they most likely turned the $3,000 into that 1.7 million. And there was some situations where I guess Robinhood was left with the loss of money, because I guess some traders closed their positions and was able to make back their money, but for some reason this glitch made Robinhood lose money, like 50K and plus for some people, and basically it was all upside for all these other traders. And it's just interesting how this printing of cash from the Fed has kind of turned this whole thing into a casino for a lot of these traders, because there's a difference between trading and investing. And I think a lot of these young kids who don't really understand that they are purchasing a company, they're having a stake in a company, they're treating it as a casino and just looking at the numbers like, oh yeah, the stock's always going to go up. Oh, it's not going to go down. Things like that. And it's just mind-boggling, because it's crazy, it's reckless. And I and GameStop is just a complete.
GameStop's a byproduct of what's going on, but I think it goes back to too. I think that back in the day where you used to have these softwares where you had to literally be on a computer, start it up, and do day trading. It's just the easeability of it, and everybody and their mama being able to basically have it at their disposal. There's never been a time in U.S. history where the market's been that accessible. So there's it's an opportunity for stuff like this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because of the apps.
Yeah, 100%. Those apps have changed the game. They really have.
Yeah, and like it's crazy how you can buy Bitcoin now on Robinhood. You can day trade, different things. Wow. Yeah, things have been kind of made easily accessible and simplified. Sometimes a little bit too simple if you don't understand what you're doing, and that's why all some people can get in the red real easily with these stock trades. And it's not just GameStop. It's happened to like Bed Bath and Beyond and some other stocks too. So
they're planning more too, that they're going to shoot up too.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. It's just hype. That hype and investment don't go together.
It really doesn't, bro. But the one thing I've learned, hype rules the world. When people latch onto something, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's emotion, and you got to push that type of stuff away because you don't make good decisions. But it's to your point, it's absolutely, it's hype, and people are following it.
Yep, 100%.
You
100%,
know,
100%. I agree. So, talking about hype
yeah.
and what's the most hyped up app right now is TikTok.
Oh
But
yeah.
I know you're telling me Snapchat is coming for them.
Snapchat is making a big play, guys. So basically, I was looking at this the other day, and Snapchat basically wants to pay influencers millions of dollars. So right now, there's been a huge takeover with TikTok and basically how popular that app has been. A ton of influencers are on it. On our last episode, you were basically talking about how you kind of figure out how to use the TikTok machine, and you're absolutely crushing it. But Snapchat's kind of in this area where they're like, yo, we're starting to see a lot of folks, a lot of influencers leave our platform. How can we still compete? So they decided basically that instead of trying to make their app popular or this or that, they got a bright idea. How about we start paying influencers? So they made up this challenge where basically they want to pay out $1 million in pay to an influencer every single week. So we had people
Wait. A million
per day. Sorry, it's $1 million per day actually.
a million per day?
$1 million per day. They want to pay out $1 million per day. Snapchat does. Yes.
And this goes to a single influencer or just
So
influencers in general?
So basically, for their new Spotlight program, so if you create a video on Snapchat and it starts to go viral, they'll basically pay you out whatever their commission payouts are based on how viral your video goes. And basically, they want to pay out $1 million a day to different types of influencers to create content. So you could be some Joe Schmo from Texas who creates a really cool video and it trends on Snapchat and you get compensated for it. So
Whoa.
that's how they're getting people to basically start posting is, hey, we just need to pay these people to make good videos. So it's interesting.
That's really interesting. I mean, I guess that's the best way Snapchat can get people back on their platform.
Yep.
It's interesting because TikTok and Snapchat are pretty much different from each other in terms of how they're set up. Because TikTok is more like in your face, out there, just boom, 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 video one after the other. Snapchat is kind of more secretive in a way. It's more, yeah, right?
Yes. And we've had that conversation before too, where it was like, dude, it's so hard to grow your Snapchat because it's a secretive platform. That was the way it was just originally built. But now they're trying to compete at this level and trying to get, mass scale. But to have a platform like that, it can't be private. It has to be a community where people are discovering content. And now they're trying to play catch up and play that game. And instead of just having it organically, they're literally paying people, please be on our platform, to create amazing content. So it's an interesting play. We'll see how it works.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I don't know how that's going to work out because it's almost, you kind of have to be exclusive. Like if you're following people like an influencer, you're pretty much following all their exclusive stuff. But I haven't been on Snapchat in a minute, so I don't know. I don't know where Snapchat's been.
Like anymore. It's been a minute. I was on Snapchat like last week because one of my friends, she added me on Snapchat, but that was the first time I've been on Snapchat in maybe a year or 5 months or whatever. I'm just not on it. It's just, for me, the reason I left the platform is all my friends left the platform and there's nothing for me to discover. It's not a discovery platform like a Facebook, Instagram, or a TikTok. And that's the component it's missing. And now they're trying to pay people for it.
Yeah. You were saying that your younger brother uses it a lot still, but it's more so a texting type of platform.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of the Generation Z, for all those people who are looking to target people like that, a lot of the Gen Zs, they use Snapchat to actually text their friends back and forth and have conversations. They're not using text messages as much. So I found that to be extremely interesting, that that generation still loves that platform, but everybody else has kind of just moved on and gone the opposite way. But they're not using it for discovery. It's just for hanging out, texting their friends. You
Yeah,
know?
that's interesting. I think like just looking at Snapchat, they should capitalize on that. They should
Yeah.
focus more on that because instead of being more of a kind of like a discovery type of platform, it's kind of hard to just be a discovery type of platform if everything is pretty much exclusive. Like
Yeah.
TikTok is just in your face
Yep.
24/7, scroll, scroll, scroll. So you
Right.
can't really be as exclusive with a specific creator,
Right.
but Snapchat is different in that sense. Like
Yep.
it's almost kind of like a like a WhatsApp or something.
Right.
It
Yep.
could be a
Exactly.
WhatsApp.
Yeah. And WhatsApp got acquired for $19 billion. So I wouldn't mind being a WhatsApp, you know? So there's a lot of money in that too.
Dude,
But
Facebook, the top apps that are like used a lot are owned by Facebook. It's crazy.
yeah, they just know how to acquire them, man. I think that WhatsApp, that was such a massive acquisition. I know you remember when Snapchat denied the acquisition from Facebook, and we thought that was crazy. Like, what, $1 billion, you
Dude,
know? But
I know. I don't know why they didn't take it. I kind of I can
I get
see
it.
why, they can
Yeah,
get funding and do all that, but yeah, I don't know what their plans are
yeah,
in the future, but we'll see, I guess. But I guess it's more
yeah.
just the Gen Z that use it. I don't use it.
You remember the spectacles that people used to have?
Dude, yes.
Yeah, that was it. I really thought that was actually cool. I wanted to purchase some at that moment, but I never got a chance. But I really thought that it was actually a pretty cool concept, to be honest with you.
It was, and I know that they're trying to push that. I saw some commercials recently that they're pushing that out. They're highlighting a specific influencer, like see my life and all that type of
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll
Yeah.
see.
Maybe we'll see, man. It's yeah. It might be all right with the platform, but it's just not going to compete. It's what it is.
But they have been like lagging for so
Yeah.
long. I don't know how they're going to compete at this point, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll
We'll
see.
see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see what happens. Yep.
Okay, so next topic. With the whole pandemic going on, it's hard to start a business, but it could be the best time to start a business too. So
So,
I know we're talking about side hustles. Do you have any tips on or for someone that is thinking about creating a side hustle during this time, using their skills to do so? What tips do you have?
yeah, absolutely. I think that right now, I think, first of all, I think what the pandemic taught us is it is no longer a luxury not to have an online business. When everything was shut down, in the physical world, it was massive. People got laid off and different things like that. So I think just to take care of your family, you need to have an online business. So I think, first of all, the landscape for starting a business has to be online for sure. And there's never been a better time to start a online business with how easy and simple it is. So I would say for, my first tip for a side hustle, I think number one, I think a drop shipping business is an easy one to start. And what drop shipping is basically where you have a supplier who actually has the product. So for example, let's say you sell umbrellas in Seattle, right? So you have a person who has a stock of umbrellas, probably in China or somewhere, wherever else, and you set up an online store where you're basically selling that exact product. You don't purchase it or anything, but if a person does go to the store and buys it, it alerts the supplier, and that's when it's actually sent, and you obviously collect the margin in between there. So that's an easy business where you don't have to have a lot of cash up front that you can start. Then as well, I would start a service business. A service business, is a great business where all you're literally using is your brain power and your skill set, no cash or anything. So if you do have any type of skill set that you have, you can start a consulting business and start selling your services online to customers, whether that's marketing services, for you video services, different things like that. Just really figuring out how you can, service customers from there. So I would say those are two businesses that you can start without any cash in 2021. And I think those would be some good options.
Yep, I agree. And especially nowadays with media being so in use.
Yes, 100%.
If you know how to edit videos, just simple videos, just simple edits, like if you know how to use iMovie, for example, that can come in handy. Now, how you can do that is going through Upwork.com, going to Fiverr.com. There's a bunch of people, especially YouTubers, content creators, business owners, people that need content or simple content edited, even content you see on Instagram, like those Gary Vee style of like posts. Those need editors too. They
Yes,
need
100%.
people that can add
Absolutely.
subtitles.
100%.
So simple things like that, right? Like that can be something that puts money in your pocket. So even if you know how to edit photos like Photoshop or editing thumbnails for YouTube videos, things like that, that's going to probably be even more in demand as time goes on, especially as more people become freelancers. You're going to see even people that work in corporate jobs, they're probably going to have to have a side hustle if they want to achieve the financial goals that they want to achieve, if they're in that space. And there's also people too that work full time as editors. And so in Upwork, like with my business, I can't edit everything all at once. So over time, I've just built relationships with editors and been able to build up an editing team. So I have go-to editors that I'm able to scale out my edits with. Now, the next step is for me to go and hire other videographers, but I don't really need that all the time. It's the editing portion that I need. So that's like a big avenue that you can go to if you are in media and understand that creative process. So there's always different avenues, especially now where everything is digital.
Yeah,
Easy.
100%.
So easy.
Yeah, 100. No, I love what you said though too, and even utilizing a place called Upwork. Just like you were saying, I think that's a great medium because whether you're a video person or you're really good at writing or you're good at law or whatever the case may be, there are jobs on there every single day, and there are people who are asking for those services. And if you hop on those platforms, you can start getting clients instantly without a dollar out of your pocket. So you need to definitely take advantage of it. There's so many opportunities for you to build a side hustle right now and put some cash in your pocket.
Yep, 100%. Now, if you are, if you're thinking about going and day trading as a living full time, I don't recommend doing that unless you know exactly what you're doing. So just like a side note, because I've just been on this topic for a long time. I've just been looking at all the updates and stuff, and it's just crazy. But I think the one thing that a lot of young kids kind of get wrong when it comes to investing is they put the day trading first as a business, as a way of making money.
Right.
But the way you see other entrepreneurs, like successful entrepreneurs, managing it is they start a business first, and whatever profits they make that they can put aside, they invest that.
Right. Yep.
That's if you want to invest. Day trading is like a separate, I guess, business in itself, unless you're professional and you understand everything. But if you're starting out, I wouldn't recommend going into trading stocks. Create a business, create a side hustle, and whatever else you have left on the side, set that aside and invest it for the long run. And actually look at it as if you are investing in a company itself, with stake in the company, but you have to evaluate it and you have to do your research. So,
Right.
and that's just the one of the things that's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get frustrated with that because that's not the way to do it.
Well, it's short-term thinking versus long-term thinking. That's what it really is. People
True,
see
true.
the short-term game of day trading. I can get money instantly, but unless you dedicate your life to that, no, you can absolutely make millions in doing it. I can't say you can't. You
Right,
absolutely
right.
can. But most people who get into this industry, it's short-term. I can make instant cash. But if you can build a business that's a long-term asset where it'll continually thrive and grow, then you take a portion, 10%, 5%, then you put that into the market, then grow that. That's a better plan to really grow something like that. It's sustainable, but you got to think long term. It's just not the short term money, because that doesn't last.
Yep, yep. Long-term thinking, long-term thinking.
So,
Speaking of long-term thinking, on the projections of Peloton.
oh man, Peloton. You want to talk about just like a crushing year for Peloton? We went into this crazy pandemic. We lost the opportunity to go to the gym, and this company just absolutely skyrockets.
Dude,
Insane.
crazy. Here's an article on the Washington Post, and it says here, Gold's Gym, 24-Hour Fitness, and Town Sports International, the owners of the New York sports clubs and Lucille Roberts chains, all filed for bankruptcy protection in 2020.
Wow. Jeez.
All these brick and mortar gyms filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're back. I think people are allowed inside I don't even think they're allowed inside yet. I don't know. It depends. But we're in California, so they
Right.
open up a gym outside. I don't know what it's like in other states.
Yep, it's
That's
all
crazy,
outside.
dude.
Isn't that nuts? But it's insane, man. And you have a platform like Peloton who, gives you this on-demand training right in your home, and they just absolutely crushed it.
Dude, it says here in Peloton, we're in CNBC.com right now. It says
Okay.
sales surged 232% to 757.9 million from 228 million a year ago, topping expectations for 748.1 million. Basically, they surpass expectations.
They grew 232% in 1 year. How nuts is that?
Dude, Peloton said it ended the quarter with more than 1.33 million connected fitness subscribers, up 130% from a year earlier.
Wow, that is insane.
That's one big surge.
That's massive, man. Absolutely massive. So the company now expects to bring in 3.9 billion in total revenue in 2021, up from a prior range of 3.5 to 3.6. Oof, man, that is a lot of money. It's crazy. I mean, from your perspective, what about Peloton just kind of hit the market the right way from your perspective?
It was 100% this pandemic that increased it. If this didn't happen, because I saw Peloton popping up in, its boutique stores, and it was like, all right, this is cool. But if it wasn't for the pandemic, it wouldn't be where it's at right now. Yeah, I believe.
100%. Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Because I mean, it was just the fact that I even thought about at one point getting a Peloton. I think the fact that the way Peloton works is you're connected to an actual group of people who are working out. Then you have a live instructor who's literally teaching you, and the bike can move, and you can go on the whole entire ride together and have that motivation. And I just think that interconnectedness is so important. That's what we are literally till today that we're craving, is just that connectedness, and especially when you're in the gym and you're working out. So it was the best of the world that we could possibly get at that one point, and it just hit the market at the right time.
Exactly. And I guess you can see from the fact that it's convenient, like if it's in your house, you just go walk over to it and start riding. The other side of that argument would be places like Soul Cycle, like that was getting big. Soul
It
Cycle
was.
was getting big.
They were on a trajectory before this pandemic. You want to talk about a business probably like, ugh. Now you have Peloton just came in and sliced them up.
I think Soul Cycle,
Oh, they actually created a bike too
they created it. Yeah.
to compete with Peloton.
See, if they did that before, bro, they wouldn't have lost any business. It's like Disney having Disney Plus. It's a subscription-based business. You got the
100%.
physical space, but you still have a bunch of subscribers. Because you can't fit everyone in those small spaces, even though it's nice to have people being around. It's a different energy, but scalability.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, their bike is called the Veris bike, Soul Cycle at Home bike, and it's around the same price as a Peloton. I think it might be a little bit cheaper, but yeah, in complete comparison to the Peloton. But to your point, I think as business owners going forward, you have to have, even if you're a restaurant or whatever type of business, you have to have some type of online component forever now. It's just, it is what it is, you know, and every business think like that now.
Yeah, it's almost essential to have some sort of online business. And I guess kind of similar to that point, it was kind of interesting. A side note, I was watching this show on Netflix, and basically it was like Shark Tank for restaurants.
Okay.
And this was like set in Britain or something.
Yeah.
And so this couple, they got one of the investors to invest in their business.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this other investor that wanted to invest in them, but he wanted to have their business ran like a takeout, to where they go up to the window and it's a to-go type of thing, no dining.
Yep.
But the couple wanted to have a dine-in style restaurant. So they went with the investor that let them do that. And I think this was filmed in 2019. So
prior to the
pandemic. So, everything looks clear in hindsight, 2020. But if they just went with that route, they were even in a food truck before. So they were running a food truck. So even if they went and had that restaurant style to where it's a to-go type of thing, they would have still been in business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 110%. Yeah, it's just, even going forward now, making sure that your restaurant has some type of outdoor area where you're serving customers. It's just, when you have something like this, of this magnitude, business changes forever. And we all know now, your restaurant, I don't care if you have a brick and mortar place, whatever you do, you have to have some type of online component. It's no longer a luxury, it's mandatory now.
So what do you think about the home gym trend now? Because I see other companies like Mirror, like I don't know if you've seen that, like where it's like the full on mirror.
Yes, love it.
They have that boxing one where you get the bag and the gloves, and obviously Peloton.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. What do you think? Once everything is kind of pretty much back to where it kind of once was, with everyone's out and about, majority of people have probably taken the vaccine and everything. I'm sure gyms are going to be back open and things like that. I don't know. I think people want to be with people again, so they're just going to go back out there and work out.
Yeah, as people, we're engineered to be adaptable, right? But at the end of the day, at our core, we want to be around people. We're social creatures, right? It's just at our essence since the dawn of time. So I think once we're able to go out and actually, do gyms and different things like that, I think people will absolutely do it. Do I think that the in-home gym market is going to absolutely tank? I don't. I think it's going to still, be doing well. It'll continually do well. But I think there's still going to be an influx of people going to gyms, being around people, being around the energy, the guy in the gym who's screaming when he's doing a lift, just the.
We all know that one guy.
Yeah, we all know that one guy. You know, you just can't get away from stuff like that. You know, so people are definitely gonna go back and get the full experience. You know, so it it'll be back.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's gonna like just tank, but it's it's something that these gyms should be aware about. And I think with Soul Cycle, they should probably keep that play with their own, because they have such a cult following.
Right.
Like
Yep.
if they continue to sell those, there's probably going to be people that don't have a Soul Cycle near where they live, but they like the instructors and
Yes.
they want
100%.
they're interested about the brand.
Yep.
Maybe someone in, I don't know, in the middle of the US in some small town, there's no Soul Cycle there. So
Yeah.
that could be a possibility. That
Mhm.
part's still going to grow, the subscription business.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be, I think there's a contraction of the gyms right now, but I think there's going to be a massive expansion too. Because I think, to your point, that's an absolute certainty. Joe Schmo in Wyoming, he doesn't have access to a Soul Cycle, but with that Soul Cycle bike, he can have access and have the same experience as a person who lives in New York or LA. So I think there's going to be a definite expansion of this, this really cool workout type stuff. But gyms and that type of stuff, it's not going anywhere. People want to be around people.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah.
what are your predictions for the recovery? What, because we were talking before this, and I've been hearing predictions about, like, in the 1920s,
Yep.
also called the Roaring Twenties, where kind of like the Great Gatsby type of thing, everything
Yes.
was flourishing and things like
Hmm.
that. I heard predictions that this will be Roaring Twenties 2.0.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you have us caged up right now. We're itching to get out, and I think retail sales. I think restaurant sales. I think that a lot of these brick and mortar sales are going to skyrocket through the absolute roof. And I know that everybody, especially these business owners, have been going through extremely, extremely bad time, but there's a good side that's about to come. Right before always, right before the dark, comes the light. You know what I'm saying? So there's
Yep.
going to be that thing that's going to happen, and I think we're going to recover extremely well. And I think it's going to be bigger than what we originally thought for sure.
Dude, it's probably going to be Baby Boomers 2.0.
Oh yeah, for sure, hundred
Bro,
percent.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. It's just
100%.
nature. It's just
It's just
nature.
it's just human nature. I mean, you keep us mammals cooped up for this long, man. We don't want to get out the cage and do something. So we definitely kids are gonna be flying out the wombs, everything. So it is what it is, man.
It
So
is what it is.
it is what it is. So it's just it's human nature. So
Yep.
I think it's going to be, once we come back and things are back to normal, man, I think business is going to roar back, and it's going to be an extremely good time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Christmas and Thanksgiving will look like this year in
Yeah.
terms of people being able to meet, hang out, family members. We'll see. We'll see. Because vaccines going out right now has been slow, only for the people that absolutely need it. Um,
Yep. Yep.
so, yeah, I we'll see. We'll see. Because I've been hearing things that maybe the travel agencies, or I mean, not agencies, but like the airlines,
Hmm.
I've been hearing talks that they might require like a vaccine card in the future or
Oh
something.
no, shit. Yeah. Well, you know
So
what?
I don't know. I don't know.
I, I,
But I mean, if they're a private company, they can do that stuff.
yeah, exact. I don't doubt it. That's what I'm saying. I do not doubt that one bit.
So
You
we'll
know.
see. We'll see.
Yeah. 100%.
I
Business.
right now I'm just letting things play out and just
Yeah.
watching.
Just let it play out, man.
Not
Don't
not in
take
any
it.
rush. Not in any rush.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
What's the next topic? Oh yeah. Super Bowl. Super Bowl's
Super
coming up.
Bowl, man. What about that Tom Brady guy? Who is that
Dude,
guy?
who's that guy, man?
Who's that guy, man?
Jeez. Let
Crazy.
me bring this because we want to talk about someone that has GOAT status,
Absolutely.
and someone that if he wins, it's like there's really no conversation
No,
about it.
absolutely
Like
not.
it's he's pretty much stamped it in history that he went to a new team, and this team was still young, developing, brought them together, and the first year brings them to the Super Bowl. Like you can't deny that.
Yep. No, you can't whatsoever, man. I mean, that's just greatness in its essence. That's GOAT right there. That's the GOAT, man. You
I mean,
know?
as much as
But
I like Mahomes, I mean the Chiefs have a really good offense in
mhm.
in decades, and so
Yeah,
we'll see. But I don't know if Brady wins, I'm like okay. It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
the one thing that's interesting is whenever you whenever like some people that when you see people that are always winning or like a team that's always winning or something, and
Hmm.
and there's some people that are always like, oh man, I don't want them to win, I want them to lose because they win too much.
Yeah, of course. Those are haters.
But why? Why can't you appreciate why they're winning so much? Why don't you look at that?
Because they're
What?
not wired to appreciate it. They're just not wired, Mike. You can't get these people to appreciate. Greatness appreciates greatness. And for these people, they get so caught up in like, oh my gosh, he's winning, he's winning, he's winning. They never take a look at why is he doing what he's doing and just marvel at the greatness, just marvel. But they won't allow that. They just it's the haterism, man. They're drinking a haterade. So.
Exactly. I mean, this is within our lifetime. This
Mhm.
is probably not going to happen for
No.
another. I mean, who knows? Maybe Mahomes might be the next one, but that's still down the line to be seen. But
100%.
Brady, like, hey, you
Yep.
can't deny that. Can't deny that
Nope. Can't
greatness
do
right
it.
there.
Can't
Um,
do it.
the NFL Super Bowl. I know we
Yes.
want to talk about how it makes money and how is it going to even make money this year?
Right. Right.
Because they're not going to
Absolutely.
be filled to capacity in person, that's for
No.
sure.
No.
But
Yeah.
there's
I mean,
going to be people, right?
there's going to be some people, but it's not going to be full capacity like it used to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's
Yep.
in Tampa.
Yes, in Tampa Bay, baby, Tampa Bay.
Do you say Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay.
That's
No more Tampa. Welcome to
hilarious.
Tampa.
Tampa. I mean, hey, he earned it.
Yep, absolutely, he did.
It says here, I'm on thestreet.com.
Okay.
It says all of this is an enormous amount of money, but it pales compared to the value of the Super Bowl's TV rights. Every
Mhm.
year, Fox, CBS, and NBC collectively pay the NFL $3 billion for the right to
Yes.
broadcast the league's games. So that's within
3
the year.
billion. Yes.
Um, this deal includes the rotating rights for one of these three networks to host the Super Bowl. So they make money from sponsorships.
Yep, 100%.
Let's see. While the NFL does not, again, release specific numbers on its partnerships, in 2019, the consulting firm IEG estimated that they were worth approximately $1.39 billion.
That is ridiculous, man. $1.39 billion.
Yep. And ads, oh,
That is crazy.
can't forget the Super Bowl commercials. Each
Yep.
30-second spot sold for approximately $5.6 million in 2019 for an
Yep.
ad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think the cost of those TV ads are going to go up now because the NFL needs to make up a lot of its revenue. So I think that we're
Yep.
going to see some crazy numbers for how much these TV ads cost this year.
How much higher do you think they're going to go? 20% more?
Yeah, probably. I could see that. Absolutely.
I don't
You
think they'll
know,
go 50. I don't think they'll go 50% more.
nah, I don't think
That's
50%,
way
but I
too
think,
much.
yeah, I think they'll
Yeah,
definitely go up for sure.
that's true. They got to make up for it. And then they got the merchandise sales, and
Yep.
then they have the ticket sales. But obviously,
Yep.
ticket sales are probably going to be cut in half this
Yep.
year.
100%.
It
You
says
know?
here, according to the National Retail Federation, this year's Super Bowl is expected to generate roughly 17.2 billion in spending nationwide.
Wow.
When was this article made?
Yeah, I think this was,
2020, January
yeah.
2020. Okay, so they were expecting that it was in January
Mhm.
2020. Yeah, not anymore.
Not
So
gonna happen.
not
And
gonna
they
happen.
cut in half. That's why they have to make up that revenue through those ad dollars.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be an interesting Super Bowl, and I think the fact that a lot of these local businesses really thrive from having a Super Bowl in their city, these restaurants, hotels, everything like that, and they're not going to get as big of an opportunity as they normally would, especially you got Mahomes and you got, you know, big Tom Brady, you know, but I do believe they're going to really make that revenue up with these ads, and I think that the Super Bowl ads are going to be really, really good this year because they're paying a lot of cash for them.
What do you think about the quality of Super Bowl ads recently? Like, because before they've been like funny.
Yeah,
Now you get
yeah.
some that are funny, but majority are just like, what?
I
Like, you
feel
got the classics. You always got like the classics, like
yeah,
the what was that one? Was it Pepsi? Where it's
right.
like the what was that
Yeah,
guy?
it was
That was classic. Everyone was saying that. Remember?
those are really good. Our Doritos ones are really good too. But yeah, I think that the quality of them has definitely fallen off a little bit for sure, as per the funny ones, you know. But hopefully they make a big comeback. But I don't. To your point, the last 2 or 3 years, I don't think they've been as funny.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean,
We'll
we'll
see.
see. We'll see. I'm more so excited about the game. So,
Yeah, I am too, you know. But yeah, I think the business of the Super Bowl, I think is going to be interesting this year. I think we have to look out for some amazing commercials. I wish that we could have obviously the direct and in person revenue, but you know we're not going to get that chance this year.
yeah. Well, probably next year. I think next
Oh,
year for sure.
oh yeah, it's going to be crazy.
2022, I think things will start picking back up again.
100%,
Definitely. I think
100%.
this year, 2021, is still a recovery year
Yeah,
because
yeah.
in 1918, with the Spanish flu,
Okay.
I think that's when
Yeah,
it was.
1918, 1917, somewhere around there.
Um, the recovery was 2 years,
Oh, so it's 2 years. Okay, got it.
so it's probably gonna be 2 years again.
Yep. Okay.
And bro, that's crazy to think about. They had their pandemic back then, and they didn't have all the tools
No.
that we have right now, and they still got through it.
That's what I'm saying. It took them 2 years, you know. So I think by the end of this year, I think we're going to start seeing some light in the tunnel, you know. So
Yeah,
we got to barrel through it, and we can get back to the regularly scheduled programming, which would be nice.
that's right. But
Yeah.
but you got to keep building. Got to keep
Yeah.
building during this time.
100%.
No letting
100%.
off the gas.
Yeah.
Um,
Got to stay
yeah, this
focused too.
2020 was a good. It wasn't a great year, obviously, but if you're able to take advantage of some opportunities, there's a lot more upside on the growth end when it comes to
Yeah.
like business and mindset and
Oh,
you know.
man. Because there was never a time where you literally had no distractions. I mean, you know, as an entrepreneur, there's so many different things that are distracting you, different things like that. But you had all this time at home just to solely focus on your business, grind out, and you could have absolutely changed your life last year, if not this year too. You know, so take advantage of it. There's always good and the bad, you know, and that's a huge, huge sticking point for sure.
Yep. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to add that's on your mind?
You know
Head
what?
out.
I just think that, you know, I want everybody to get ready for that Super Bowl. It's going to be a good Super Bowl. Go Tom Brady. But I think that, I think there's a lot of opportunities for these new business owners right now, or people who are thinking of getting into business. There's a lot of opportunity right now. Don't waste it. Go online, figure out what you want to do, whether it's selling something or if it's a skill that you have, you can do it for free. So definitely having an online business is not a hobby. It's not a luxury. It's mandatory now in 2021.
Yep. You heard it. Mandatory. Digital businesses is mandatory, whether it's a side hustle or a main hustle. You just got to know it. Got to know it.
100%.
So, yeah.
100%. Well, beautiful, guys.
All right. that was a great episode 3.
That was solid. Yeah.
If you are still here and you're still watching, you watched all the way through and enjoyed it, please click on that like button. Comment below any questions you may have for us in regards to business, finance, mindset. And if you know anyone that will enjoy this episode, please share it. So with that being said, I'm Mike.
I'm Kenny. We'll see you guys later, okay?
See you on the next episode. Peace.
2 feet in.